So in this video, we're going to talk about simplifying radical expression. For number 1, square root of x to the exponent of 4, y to the exponent of 7, z to the exponent of 8. When we say square root, it has an index of 2. We simply divide the exponents on the radicand by the index 2. The result must be written outside the radical symbol. For example, x to the exponent of 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Remainder 0. Meaning to say, x to the exponent of 2 will be written outside the radical symbol, or it will become the coefficient of radicand. Again, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Meaning to say, x squared. Remainder 0. Meaning to say, there is no variable x that will remain inside the radical symbol. Next is 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2 is 3, remainder 1. Meaning to say, there y cube will be written outside the radical symbol. Y cube, then remainder. Again, 7 divided by 2 is 3, remainder 1. So 3 outside the radical symbol. Remainder 1, meaning to say there is one variable y that will remain inside the radical symbol. Next, z to the exponent of 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Remainder 0, meaning to say there is no variable z that will remain inside the radical symbol. So z to the exponent of 4. Because 8 divided by 2 is 4. Remainder 0. There is no variable z that remains inside the square root or radical symbol. So this is now our answer. Next, square root of 9 x to the exponent of 5 y to the exponent of 10. Again, there is an index of 2. First, we are going to get the square root of 9. What is square root of 9? So the square root of 9 is 3. So write it outside the radical symbol. Next, exponent of x to the exponent of 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2, remainder 1. So meaning to say, there are 2 x that will be written outside the radical symbol, and then remainder 1, there will be 1 x that will remain inside the radical symbol. The next, y to the exponent of 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Remainder 0, meaning to say there is no y that will remain inside the radical symbol. So y to the exponent of 10 divided by 2 is 5. So this is now our answer. Next, cube root of 16x to the exponent of 5 y squared z to the exponent of 9. So first, 16. Since 16 is not a perfect cube, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, not 16. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, not 16. So we are going to find the factors of 16, and one of the factors is a perfect cube. So let's say, let's start with 2. 2 times 2, 4 times 2 is 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Therefore, the factors of 16 is 8 times 2. 8 is a perfect cube. Then copy first the given x to the exponent of 5, y squared, z to the exponent of 9 equals. Then cube root of 8 is 2. So you are going to write it outside the radical symbol. And then 2 will remain inside the radical symbol because 2 is not a perfect cube. So we write cube root of 2. Then let us proceed to x to the exponent of 5. Again, we are going to divide exponent of x by the index. 5 divided by 3 is 1, remainder 2. Meaning to say, there is one x that go outside, and then remainder 2, there is x squared that remain inside the radical symbol. Next is y squared. 2 cannot be divided by 3, therefore just copy. Or if the exponent of the variable inside the radicand is lesser than the index, just copy it or remain. Next is z to the exponent of 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3, remainder 0. Meaning to say there is no variable z that will remain. Again, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Therefore, there is 3 cubed outside the radical symbol. So we are now in our final answer. 2x z cubed, cube root of 2x squared y squared. That's the answer. For number 4, 3x square root of 32, x to the exponent of 10, y to the exponent of 7. Remember that square root has index of 2. Now, just copy first outside the radical symbol, or this is called as the coefficient of radical. So copy 3x square root of, then we are, since 32 is not a perfect square, we are going to factor this one, and then one of the factors is a perfect squared. Let's start with 2 times 2, 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. How about 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9. We cannot divide 32 by 9. So let us proceed with 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 32 divided by 16 is 2. So let us write 16 times 2, because 16 is a bigger number, which is a perfect square. Then copy the given x to the exponent of 10, y to the exponent of 7. And then always copy first the number or variable or terms outside the radical symbol, so 3x. Then whatever the result here will be multiplied to 3x. So now square root of 16 is 4. So write 4. So 2 will remain inside the radical symbol. So square root, then 2. Because 2 is not a perfect square. Next is x to the exponent of 10. Take note again, the index is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Remainder 0. Meaning to say, there is no variable x that will remain inside the radical symbol. Again, 10 divided by 2 is 5. The answer is x to the exponent of 5. Then y to the exponent of 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3. Remainder 1. So there are y cubed that be written outside the radical symbol. Then remainder 1. Again, 7 divided by 2 is 3. Remainder 1. There is one variable that will remain inside the radical symbol. Then we are going to multiply the numbers outside the radical symbol. So it will become 3 times 4 is 12. Then x has exponent of 1. Again, in multiplying variables, we just copy the variable x, then add the exponent. 1 plus 5 is 6. Then copy the variable y cubed, because there is no y outside the group. Then square root of 2y. So this is now the answer.